Imagine the Forum Boreum, Rome's bustling cattle and slave market, dust in the air, voices clashing, coins clinking. The auctioneer raises his voice above the chaos. "Greek boy, 12 years old, literate, starting bid, 1,500 denarii. A chalk mark on the boy's feet shows he has just arrived. Captured, transported, displayed. Beside him stands a worn-out Thracian farmhand, worth only 500. And on a platform above them all, a young Syrian woman, her beauty alone valued at 6,000 denarii. In ancient Rome, every human being had a price, and the logic behind those prices was cold, calculated, and brutally efficient. To the Romans, people were economic units. Their value was determined by origin, skills, age, physical traits, and gender. Like any marketplace, prices rose and fell with supply and demand. For nearly 1,000 years, Rome perfected the business of buying and selling human beings. Rome had stereotypes for every enslaved population. Greeks were considered educated, cultured, reliable, perfect for childcare, teaching, and assistance. Gauls and Germans brought physical strength, valuable for farming, construction, and gladiatorial training. Syrians, Phoenicians, and Judeans were associated with trade and finance, ideal for managing shops and estates. Newly conquered peoples were cheap, but once they adopted Roman customs, their value rose. An unskilled laborer sold for a few hundred denarii, a shoemaker 4,000, a grammarian 10,000, a physician 20,000, the price of a small house. One exotic cook sold for 100,000, a famous Greek actor 700,000. These were luxury items, symbols of elite status. Infants were cheap, sometimes given away with their mothers. But at 10 years old, a child's value rose dramatically. Children were perfect investments, easy to train, long-lasting, loyal. Rich families bought children as companions for their own, grooming them for lifelong service. A healthy, exotic-looking 11-year-old from Numidia could sell for more than many adults. Children were low cost, high return, peak value, ages 15 to 25. After 25, prices dropped. By 40, half value. After 50, often seen as a burden unless highly skilled. Many elderly slaves were freed to avoid the cost of upkeep. For field laborers, strength mattered. For household slaves, beauty was everything. Traders groomed, perfumed, and fattened slaves to increase their value. Some Romans curated households as aesthetic collections, all blondes from Britain, all dark-skinned Ethiopians, human beings as decor. Male slaves were predictable in price. Women were judged by beauty, youth, fertility, and sometimes virginity. A young, attractive woman, 6,000 denarii. Wet nurses, 3,000 or more. Midwives and beauticians, highly valued. Sexual attractiveness was often openly listed in sale documents. Wars flooded Rome with captives. After Pompey's eastern campaigns, markets overflowed. Caesar's Gallic Wars alone produced nearly 1 million slaves. Prices collapsed. In peace, prices rose. Rome always had the highest prices. A slave worth 2,000 there might sell for 800 on the frontier. Seasonal patterns shaped prices too. Farm workers were most expensive before harvest. There is no perfect modern conversion, but context helps. A tunic, 15 to 30 denarii. Apartment rent per year, 40 to 100 a modest villa. 5,000 to 20,000 a trained physician slave. 20,000 a basic laborer slave. 1,000, about a soldier's yearly salary. A single life could cost the same as a shop, a home, or an estate. For centuries, the Roman slave market never slowed. It adapted, expanded, perfected itself. Prices rose and fell. War supplied bodies. Peace raised demand. Human beings were reduced to property, counted, inspected, bought, sold. This was the true cost of a human life in ancient Rome.